Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brothers and sisters in Islam, and salam to all my brothers and sisters in humanity. This is Ali. I'm going to be answering some questions brought to my attention from some viewers. And I'm also going to be offering a refutation from or against another user. First for the questions. Alright, let's see what we got here. First question is from Dogschach. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. It's Dogschach. He has 4 questions for me. Alright, question number 1. Were you offended by the South Park cartoons? No, not really. They were just kind of silly to me. Really don't have a problem with them too much. Of course, I don't think it's appropriate to draw the Prophet ﷺ, but, you know, they really didn't hurt my feelings or anything. Alright. Question number 2. What is the reason for Muslims to not depict the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? Okay, this question is often brought to my attention. It's actually pretty easy to answer. Many people don't really understand, though. Basically, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, many people were worshipping statues, idols, and stuff, and thinking that the gods were manifested in these items, or these objects. So, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ basically stated, well, you can't really, don't draw me, or don't make me into something, you know, or other prophets, ﷺ, you know, all those, you know, things, because later down the road, you know, people are going to kind of forget the message, and they're going to start idolizing, or basically worshiping the messenger rather than the actual God that the message is talking about. So this has happened several times in history, according to Islam, and so this is why it is prohibited. All right then, let's go on here. Question number 3. If you were a historian and you came across an ancient depiction of Muhammad ﷺ, would it be proper, or what would be the proper response as a Muslim? To preserve it and share it with the public, or make sure it is not seen and hide it or destroy it? I like this question a lot. I would actually preserve it, put it in a museum for educational purposes. I don't think destroying it or hiding it would do any good. And I think it would also lose valuable information on a previous culture and understanding of our beliefs. All right, question number 4. This is one I had to think about a lot. If I was in a position of legislative power and could make the depiction of Muhammad ﷺ illegal, would I do it? And the reason I had to think about this is not because I was, you know, fighting with my own conscience or anything. Is because it's not just a yes or no answer. For instance, what do you mean by illegal? For me, an Islamic state would not be okay with depictions of Muhammad ﷺ. An Islamic state, but I think it also would have to be voted on whether or not it could be depicted. And at the same time, I don't think it would really, I should make it really illegal, but at the same time, you know, have to be some sort of, I don't know, maybe I'd put a fine or something for making it public. I don't know, but I don't think I would personally be in legislative power. And this is just in reference to an Islamic state, okay, where all Muslims, all right, and these rules are only applied to Muslims, okay. Now, if you were like in a secular state or whatever, of course, no, I would not try to do this or make anything illegal because Islamic law does not apply to a secular state. So in that sense, it's not really a yes or no answer, and I really wouldn't make it illegal. So yeah, I wouldn't like ban it or anything. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, next questions are from AllianceOfDemons. He gave me 3 questions. Question number 1, does evolution interest you, and how much do you think you know of it? Well, I learned about evolution in high school and in college, and I'm not like a professor, you know, or a doctor. I don't claim to be a scientist. I agree with the concept. I don't think it conflicts with my religion, and I like it. It's really cool. It's interesting view of reality. That's all I have to say. I don't agree with many materialist interpretations of it. I don't agree with social Darwinism, for instance, and I don't agree with metaphysical naturalist. But yeah, I believe the concept is valid and sound. I don't know everything about it, like I said before, but I accept it. All right then, question number 2. Are you afraid of going to hell if your religion is not the right religion? Also, what is your view on spending an eternity in heaven? This sort of leads into why do you believe why are you a theist and why do you believe in Islam? Am I afraid of going to hell? I really don't think about it too much. I think more about how to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and my fellow man more so, how to gain rewards from that, and also, you know, just basically how to make life better for myself and others. Am I afraid of going to hell to some extent? Yeah, I mean, it would suck. I mean, that's basically what I have to say about that. What is my view on spending eternity in heaven? Better than my view on spending eternity in hell. Better than my view of spending an eternity in hell, I'll tell you that much. And why do I believe? I have several reasons why I believe. Several factors are involved here. You kind of brought up Pascal's wager in your video as well. By the way, I'll be linking to the videos that I'm responding to in the info box. Why do I believe? Several reasons: rational reasons, emotional reasons. I have a 3-part series on my conversion in my playlist. You can go check that out. It doesn't give all the details, but gives you a vague understanding. Basically, regarding Pascal's wager, I actually took a greater risk when I converted from Christianity to Islam, because in Islam they still allow for the possibility of Christians and Jews to make it to paradise, to heaven, regardless of the fact that they're Christians and Jews and other people, for instance, because of their good works. Whereas when you leave Christianity, you apostate from Christianity, you're done, gone. So in that sense, I was making a greater risk. So if you're thinking that my fear of hell is what motivates me to believe, not so much. Also, question number 3. If Islam took over the world, would it prove the existence of your God? No. Ad populums would not prove the existence of my God. However, I do think that there is some evidence to the concept of God, also to Islam, in the fact that the prophets were extremely influential in their societies they lived in and changed them for the better, and dramatically so. So if I were to use some sort of pragmatic argument in that sense, that would be it. Also, I have a refutation to an objection made by an atheist by the name of PhilStrohmann in his response to my video, Do Moderates Cover for Fanatics? He had stated that in my response regarding atheist and anti-theist, he stated that, well, and specifically anti-theism is so vague that it does not condone violence. There's no doctrines for it. There's no methodology behind it. So, if you're an anti-theist, you really don't condone violence. You don't really condone censorship. But religions do, because they have doctrines, etc. My response to this is very simple. If you simply define yourself by those terms, by what you are not, first off, as an atheist, well, I don't believe in theism, I am not religious. And if you simply define yourself in such a vague manner, oh, I am against theism, okay, which I think many atheists do, and I'm not saying all atheists, but there are many, especially on the internet, and you have nothing else to offer in return, this is extremely dangerous. By defining yourself by these vague terms, okay, you are implicitly immune from criticism, okay? That is the problem, because there's nothing to criticize. You have made yourself immune. All right. Secondly, by making such a vague concept, it is true that you do not condone violence or any such other methodology for going against theism as an anti-theist. However, you also, in the same manner, it's a double-edged sword, in the same manner, you do not condemn it. This is the problem. I want to know, how can an anti-theist look at another anti-theist when they simply define themselves by what they are not, when they label themselves in that manner, and provide no alternative, okay, they just say, oh, reason and science. How can they look at another anti-theist who's going around killing religious people, and this has happened in the past, how can they say, oh, look, you're wrong? That's what I want to know. See, with my holy book and stuff, I can look at the fanatic and go, look, you're interpreting this wrong. Okay, this is not what our religion teaches. I have a reference to go back to. What does an anti-theist or an atheist have? If they continue simply to define themselves by what they are not and what they are in the vaguest sense of the term. Okay? I think it's better to have a methodology and a doctrine, because if you don't, then, I mean, yeah, sure, you don't condone evil things, but you don't condemn them either. So that's my refutation. I hope that that was adequate enough. And inshallah, I hope more people ask questions, and I will try my best to answer them, inshallah. All right, thank you very much, guys, and assalamu alaikum.